Hey everyone, this is Mitch from Boardco, and I'm going to be running you through the Centurion RI dash screens so that you can know how to operate your Centurion RI series boat. All right, everyone, we're going to walk you through the Centurion RI series dash screens. These screens are brand new for the year 2021 moving forward, and they have a lot of incredible technology and capabilities that are unlike anything we've ever had before. So I'm going to walk you through how to use and operate these screens and get the most out of your experience on them on the water. We're starting right here on the left side screen. Here on the left side screen, we're going to start at the very top, move to the right, and then show you kind of all the different things on it. The left screen is pretty basic and standard just because this is where you get a lot of your instrumentation controls on the boat. Here on the top left, you have your water temperature. You also have your water depth just to the right of that. We're currently showing you this in our showroom, so it's not getting any kind of depth reading, which is why it's showing 999. You also have the direction that the boat is facing. We're currently facing southwest, and the time, your current time that's right here next to that. To the right of that, we have a new feature that is exclusive to the Centurion RI series boats as of the time that we're shooting this video, and that is your trip function. This gives you a live indicator of your total trip time, but also, and more importantly, your fuel consumption, your distance, and things such as your fuel used, your fuel rate, and your engine hours. This is a really useful thing for not just seeing how incredibly fuel efficient the Centurion boats are, but also being able to gauge how much fuel is being used while you're operating the boat. As an example for this, I was recently down at Lake Mead when I was running an RI 245, and we noticed that when we were cruising along at 29 miles an hour, we were burning about 17 gallons an hour of fuel while we were doing that. When we slowed down to 27 miles an hour, it dropped our fuel consumption down to 12 and a half. This is the kind of functionality you didn't ever have prior to the Centurion RI series dash, but you now have the ability to see exactly in real time how much fuel your boat is consuming. It makes it really nice if you're going to make those long drives out to places like Rainbow Bridge, or even just things like if you're cruising around and checking out things at Lake Powell or anywhere else, you can see exactly how much fuel you're burning to make it so you can operate the boat as efficiently as possible. Sometimes doing things such as slowing the boat down by 1.5 to 2 miles an hour can save you as much as 30% on your fuel economy. It's a really useful function that is new in the Centurion RIs. Next to that, you have your oil pressure and your engine voltage that's right here next to that. You also have your a setting for your cruise control system just below this, where you can control your speed that you want to go just moving up and down by the arrows. You also have the ability to control that with the paddle shifters on the right side of the steering wheel. The left side of the steering wheel controls your center stinger plate, which I'll get to in just one second. You also have on the right, here on the left screen, the ability to turn your cruise control on and off. You see when you turn it on, it slides it over to the right and it kicks on a green highlighted area here around the dash. This is just simply by pressing on and off like that, and it will activate your cruise control. When running your cruise control, all you need to do is just throttle the boat, or put your throttle down. It will then move to the intended speed, which in this case is 11 miles an hour. Stop right at 11 miles an hour and hold that speed during the whole time that you're running the boat. You can move the throttle up and down and it's really not going to do anything. If you need to disengage it, you pull back on the throttle and it will eventually disengage once you hit the disengage point. If you ever want to disengage your cruise control while you are running, so let's say that we have it set at 11 miles an hour, we throttle forward, we then decide we want to go up to 25 miles an hour, just simply turn off your cruise control, throttle back until you feel the engine disengage, then you can throttle forward and go as quick as you want. You can also control the cruise control while you're going, so you can turn it up and down at any point in time while you are going, either by pressing the dash screen or using the paddle shifter on the steering wheel. The last feature here on the left side is your stereo control functionality. You have the ability to do simply up and down on your volume control, so you can move your volume up and down here. You also have a mute function by pressing the center button right there, and it highlights in red, so that means it's muted and it's not going to give you any sound. And you have your track selection that is left and right if you're on Bluetooth, or you can select things like your band if you're on FM stereo. All right, we finished up in the left screen, which is showing you all the instrumentation and some of the details throughout the boat. We're now going to move over to the right screen, which is where all of your functionality and controls lie, and where you have the full control over everything that's going on in the boat. One of the great things about the side-by-side dash system that's exclusive and patented by Centurion is when you change the different menus on the right screen, it moves and modifies what happens on the left screen at the same time. The two screens communicate with one another, meaning that you can have even more instrumentation slide over to the left screen while you're navigating different things like your surf menu, your ballast menu, etc. here on the right side. It also is great because you have all your controls on the right, while you have things such as your cell phone holder and your volume controls on the left, which means that you can move your right hand over here and control everything, and then switch over and use your left hand to control the other items that you may be using throughout the time that you're driving the boat. Here on the right side screen, once again, we're going to start in the top and move down, and then I'll cover the different menu options. We're first here on the home screen, which is the top icon here on the right side. And we have things such as your engine hours, you have your engine temperature. You also have a quick access to see quick surf and quick launch, something I'll get to in just a second. But you can see if they're activated and even activate them from here on the screen. So you see I just activated quick surf. You may be able to hear the tabs activating right back behind me. But you see that it's highlighted now because that one is active. You also have a live feed of your fuel, of your current fuel level in the boat, and your RPM gauge. That's the big main dial that's right here on the main screen. You also have your rider profile presets that are in the top right function that I'll show you in just a minute. And then your center plate. This is your center stinger plate position. And it right now is showing at 0, but you can activate and control that either from your surf menu or from the paddle shifters that's on the left side of the steering wheel. You see I just moved it up to a setting of 6. So moving down through here, I'm going to run through the different menus, and then I'll pull up the rider profile presets here at the end. The first menu screen down from the home screen is the surf screen. You see it shifts shifts the main visibility of the screen over to your surf screen. You see we've got surf left activated, which you can see has the boat shifted that, over to the left. This is not an accurate representation of how far the boat is shifted over. It's actually a very, very slight cant to the boat, but it just wants to give you a pretty dramatic showing so that you can really get an idea of which side the boat is leaning to and which side that you're surfing on. When you have quick surf or surf left activated, you see I have the port tab at 0. I have the starboard tab at 80. The typical position from the factory is at 70%, and you can change and modify this at any point in time just by pressing the edit button below the surf left feature. So if you hit edit, you can change your set point on this, and we'll go down to 70, hit save to profile, and it will automatically move it to a setting of 70. Your tab positions that you have here on the RI-245 can be manipulated and adjusted to dial in the best wake surf wave on the planet. We have another video that we've got that you can check out that we'll have a link to down in the description below that shows you all of the different ways that you can manipulate and customize your wake surf wave to exactly the way that you want it. That is one of the great things about the RI-245 and 265 and any of the boats in the RI series is they have the most customization capability of any boats out there. And that is by controlling both your starboard and port side plates as well as your center plate. Your center plate can be controlled by simply pressing the up and down arrows from right here on the dash screen, or by pressing and controlling it using the paddle shifter like I mentioned before. One thing of note on the Centurion RI series, the new ones, the RI-245 and 265 for 2021, is that you're going to run a little bit less center tab than we were on all of our previous edition Centurion boats. This is because of the new hull design change that is exclusive to the RI series that allows the boat to sit deeper into the water and to maximize the use of the hull without needing to use the center plate or the side plates quite as much. The typical recommended setting in a new Centurion RI series boat is to have your center plate set at a setting of 10 and then adjust it up and down from there. Most of the time, I typically run mine at a setting of 0, but if you want to mellow your wave out, you can take it up to a little bit higher setting if you want to. Now that we've covered what the different plates at the back can do, I want to show you one other additional setting of functionality, which is the quick launch feature. The quick launch feature allows you to engage both side tabs down to 100% to make it so that you can so that the boat can jump up on the plane more quickly and efficiently. So right now we have the center plate at a setting of 15 and both the side plates are at a setting of 0. It says 100 right here, but that's because they're not active yet. When I activate quick launch, you see it turns them on and you'll see the red lines move all the way to the bottom, which means that they're fully activated. This is going to lift the back end of the boat up really effectively so that if I want to plane out, even with a full load of ballast, I should be able to get up onto plane and even to wakeboard speed with all of the ballast in the boat. Once you hit 18 miles an hour, these tabs will retract up out of the way so that it doesn't mess up your wakeboard or your water ski wake and give you the ability to control and cruise around in the boat, even if you got a full load of people and ballast. It's a really great feature that makes it so that you can run a Centurion boat with a smaller engine than you can in a lot of other boats, more efficiently than you can in other boats, and that you can plane with more ballast in the boat than you can in most other boats on the market. To deactivate it, just simply press the same button again, and these tabs will retract back up into the 0 set position. The next thing to show you here on the right side of the screen is the ballast setting. That's this little icon right here below the surf wave. You've got a little waterline icon. That is your different ballast settings. There's two different views that you have on your ballast control menu. You have your preview control system and you have your control system. The preview makes it so that you can see what's going on with all the ballast tanks just really quickly and easily, and there's not a lot of fuss going on. You can select any one of the additional individual ballast tanks and hit fill or drain, and it will go through and fill or drain the ballast on that specific ballast location. You see right here I have the port side ram fill ballast that I've selected. I hit fill and it says right here increase speed, and starboard ram fill is set at OK, meaning that in order for it to do what I just told the screen to do, we have to be going a little bit faster. Your ram fill ballast screen or your ram fill ballast valves will open once you are going at least 9 miles an hour. So you need to be going 9 miles an hour, between 9 and 15 to be precise, in order for that ballast tank to actually fill. At which time you'll see that amount start to creep up and it will go from 0 all the way up to 100% in 1% increments. At any point in time, you can hit stop on the ballast and it will disengage any ballast actions that you have told the screen to take. You also have new on the RI series, the ability to just hit a fill all function, which will fill all of your ballast to 100%, which can be really nifty when you're out there wanting to get things going really quick. You also have a drain all function. If you want to just drain everything out and just head back to the dock, you can do that from the ballast screen right here. In addition to the preview menu that you see here, you also have the control menu, where you can pull up and individually see all the different fill and drain functions for all of the ballast locations separately. You also have a stop function for each one of them separately. This is kind of the legacy screen that we used to have in the previous RI series boats that some guys wanted to have, so they incorporated this in here as well. So you have the preview screen and the control screen, and you can press fill all or drain all on both of those screens individually. On the preview screen, you have the ability to fill and fill up to 100% or drain and drain down to from 100 down to 0%, at which time the ballast will automatically stop pumping in or pumping out if you're using the pump system, which the pump ballast locations are the plug and play bags on the port and starboard side, as well as the transom bag, and the subfloor ballast tank in the bow and the plug and play bag in the bow. The ram fill ballast tanks right here are filled using a valve system that you have to be moving in order to activate. So, but just like you can on the pump in ballast, you can fill all the way up to 100 and drain all the way to 0, and even press fill and overflow the tanks so that they will fill past 100 or drain past 0. This can be a really useful thing if you end up seeing that for some reason you have a ballast bag that didn't fill all the way to its full capacity. You can press fill again and fill it up even further all the way. You can do the same thing with the ram fill ballast system. One other thing I wanted to show you here on the ballast screen is the ability to turn on what's called trailer mode. Trailer mode, you see it pulls up a trailer mode screen that allows you to open and shut your ballast valves for the ram fill ballast system while the boat is sitting still. Typically, you have to be going between 9 and 15 miles an hour to fill the ballast and 9 and 25 miles an hour to drain it. However, when you have trailer mode activated, you can open and shut those valves at any point in time. All you need to do is just go from the close setting to go and click open, and it will open the valve gates. When you're sitting in the boat, you can actually hear the valves open and move, and this lets you know that the ballast valves are opened up. They call it trailer mode because it's a great thing to use when you put the boat on the trailer right when you're pulling out of the water to open the drain gates and the fill gates and make sure every bit of water is out of those ballast tanks. You're not carrying around any unnecessary water when you're trailering your boat. It's also a great way, or it's also the way that you decontaminate the tanks if you're at a body of water like Lake Powell or Lake Mead, where you need to have those tanks decontaminated. All you do is just go and open the drain gates or the fill gates, and they can flush water up into those tanks to decontaminate your ram fill system very quickly and efficiently. From that covers everything that you need to know as far as trailer mode goes. You can then jump down here to the next menu position, which is the light bulb, which is lighting. This is where you can activate all of the different lighting options that are available in your boat. You see that when you turn it on, it just simply highlights that button. It's very self-explanatory and really simple, but you can see you can go and activate all of those lighting features from right there. The next thing is you have your music settings. This is where you have full control over the entire audio system on the boat. From the screen, you can do a few things such as change your volume control, sliding up and down. It's just a simple slide function that changes it by 5% increments. You can also turn on a mute function if you want to just immediately quiet down your stereo. You can do that just by pressing mute. You have your track control selector and your press play button right here. You have on the bottom of the screen your Bluetooth manager. This is where you can go through and select whatever Bluetooth device you'd like to have paired. Add any new devices, select any that you currently have available. Just like a lot of different Bluetooth systems that are out there, it's pretty self-explanatory. And then you also have the ability to control your source between Bluetooth and the different radio functions. And lastly, and probably my favorite feature on the new audio screen, is the ability to zone control the stereo. From here, you can press the zone control button and you can independently control the different aspects of the stereo. You have your downfire speakers if your boat is equipped with either cover fire or warrior sound. You also have the ability to control your tower speakers. These are the rear-facing tower speakers that face back towards a rider, your subwoofer, and your interior speakers. This is great functionality because if, as an example, you wanted to make it so that the riders can hear the music really well, but you don't want to blast out the people that are on the inside of the boat with super loud music, you can turn down your interior volume and turn down your downfire volume, and all of a sudden you've got tower speakers that'll put a lot of music out towards the rider and a sub that's going to hit really hard, but you're not going to blast out with a ton of really high and mid-range sound going to the inside of the boat. You have full control over each one of these zones just by simply sliding the volume for each zone up and down. It's really smooth, really easy, and really nice to have. The last thing that you have here on the right side is your GPS coordinates that you pull up right here, and it pulls up GPS mapping of all of the different of wherever you're at, so you can see what's going on. It's a really cool thing to be able to check out when you're at Lake Powell or other lakes that you may not be as familiar with, so you can see exactly what you're looking at and where different canyons are and things like that. There's one other different menu option that this boat is not equipped with, which is your rear view camera setup that is right here down on the bottom right side. Right there, you can press that and it pulls up a video pop-up right here of the rear view camera that is available in the boats as an option on any of the Centurion RI series. The last two things I wanted to show you is the settings menu and your rider profile presets. First, we're going to jump into the rider profile presets. This just gives you the ability to quickly activate whatever settings you want to have running in the boat. So as an example, if you want to go, there's a number of pre-programmed settings in here, such as surf left, that all you got to do to turn on is just come down and hit activate. Once you do that, it will automatically load all of these indicated settings that you have right here into the dash screen and turn them on. You can run any of the presets that are right here. You can also edit any of them. So I'm here on the go home setting. All I got to do is say edit profile. And I can change anything from the speed. We'll move that up to 23.5. Your center plate setup, we're going to move that to 30. You control any of your ballast locations. You can control your CAT system if your boat is activated with it. And you can turn on surf left, surf right, or quick surf off. You can control all the aspects of the boat from your plates, your ballast tanks, your tab position, and your speed. And it gives you the ability to quickly set up any of these different settings really quickly and easily. You can just use a series of baseline settings such as surf left and surf right. You can also use individualized settings such as if you have Katie's surf wave, you can go through and set up a wave that's customized to each individual person. You can use this for surfing, wakeboarding, water skiing, or really anything you want to do on the boat. It comes pre-programmed with a few different surf settings and the go home function, which if we activate, which we do right now, you see it just turned on and activated the system. It turned on our GPS cruise control, moved our plate settings to exactly where we want, and if we had ballast in the boat, it would be automatically draining that out. The last thing I wanted to show you is the settings screen for here on the side-by-side dual screen dash. That's just this little wheel icon up here in the top left on the right screen. This is where you can control all the different user settings, such as your brightness and your depth alarm, different things like that. A couple different things are your tab crossover speed. This is how quickly it will shift from surf left to surf right. If you're wanting to do wave transfers, getting the timing down, this is something that you can customize and control, which is really nice. You also have the ability to turn on and customize auto volume from right here if you want to turn on auto volume functionality. What auto volume is this the ability to make it so that your volume will increase as your throttle position is higher and decrease as your throttle position is reduced. This means that it will crank up the volume when you're getting up surfing, and then when you turn around picking up a rider and the engine noise is quieted down, it will automatically quiet your stereo. It's a really cool function that you have the ability to select here on the RI dash. You also have here on the user settings your theme. Right now we've got it set to carbon, which is black and kind of black with some gold outline. But you can change it to blue or red or any other screen color that you want. It's really great because you can match the screen color to your boat or make it be just something totally different. It's really a lot of cool functionality that's new on the RI Series dash. The next thing you have is your ballast settings. This is something that's really neat that gives you full control over the ballast system in your boat. This allows you to control how full each ballast tank is going to get if it's going from 0 to 100% ballast. As you can see right here, you've got your fill times and your drain times. The fill times are here on your right side, the drain times are here on your left. The great thing about that is the ballast system in this boat uses a timing system rather than using a float that sits in any of the tanks. Because most of the tanks that utilize this are soft bags, it's actually a much more effective way of measuring the ballast in the boat. It also gives you a lot more customized control. As an example, this boat is equipped with a transom ballast bag that has a fill time of 4 minutes and 0 seconds and a drain time of 4 minutes and 30 seconds. This transom bag is an optional bag that's in the rear of the boat that is a great feature to have if you run a light crew of 3 or 4 people to surf and you want to dial in the maximum possible surf wave. If we're running with a small crew, we may want to leave that at the factory 4 minutes and fill up that sack all the way. However, if you typically go with 8 or 9 people in the boat and you're not going to want to fill that bag 100% full every time and instead use a portion of that locker for additional storage space, you might want to take that bag down to 2 minutes and at the same time reduce your drain time to 2 minutes. And that will make it so the bag will fill about 50% full, and then you'll have additional storage space on top. You can really customize exactly how full you want each of those bags to be when your ballast is at 100%. It's really nice because when you set it that way, it will mean all you gotta do is just press fill on your ballast and it will automatically shut off at the exact time that you want it to once it says it's 100% full, but you get to choose what 100% is. It's really great functionality that a lot of people use all the time to customize their boat exactly the way they want to. There's other different settings such as your GPS settings, system info, software updating, and things of that nature. The one other thing I did want to touch on the settings screen though is diagnostics. This is a screen setting to where you can pull up if you have a check engine light that comes in on your boat, you can pull up right here and see exactly what code is being thrown to require that check engine light to come up on the dash. It's really nice because previously we used to have to hook up a diacom system into the engine and scan it in order to see what's going on with the engine and why you may have had a check engine light. Now instead we have the SPN and FMI codes that pop up right here so you can see exactly what's going on. You can also potentially look up what the conditions are going on your boat and potentially diagnose what's happening, or you can give us a call and we can walk you through it. This can be a very nice feature if you're down on a trip and you have a check engine light come up on your boat and you want to know if it's something you got to stop using your boat and take it in immediately to get serviced, or if it's not a critical issue and something you can continue operating and using and it's not going to ruin your day on the lake. We can tell you that information just by having this info right in front of you. So it's a really great feature to know how to use. That is great on all of the new boats. That pretty much covers everything on the dash screen systems and all of the unique features that they have. There's lots of other different things on the driver's helm, such as your wireless charging cell phone holder. You have things such as your blower, navigation, anchor lights, bilge, and your push button start and stop. But the dash screens are the main things that we wanted to cover that has all of the great functionality and user interface. And I hope after covering this that you're a lot more comfortable with what's going on and know how to fully operate and use your boat. We hope this has been really helpful and that you can have the most fun possible on your Centurion RI. You just got the best surf boat in the entire world, and we really hope you take the time to be able to learn exactly how to use it to get the most out of it. We really hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions or things you'd like us to cover in the future, let us know. We're more than happy to cover them in a future video. Also, check out the rest of our videos on YouTube, subscribe to us and click the bell there so that you can be notified when we put out more information such as this, so you can get the most out of your experience on the water. Once again, this is Mitch from Boardco. Thanks a ton for spending some time with me, and we'll see you later. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. If you want to check out more videos like we have, click the subscribe button below and check out the other videos on our channel. We really love the opportunity to be able to share our knowledge and our love of water sports and all the stuff we have going on with you guys. So if you give us a thumbs up, click the bell, click subscribe, and everything else, we would appreciate it a ton, and we can keep you informed. Thanks a ton. We'll see you later.